Yes, Sir Karma, this is correct. This is an 8-month-old demo showcasing a very specific portion of Titan, and I'll explain how this hooks up into the demo that I had showcased earlier. So we call it, this is the combat portion of Titan.
Listen up, Commander. Today we'll be running you through a combat simulation. This will be a proper demonstration of shipbuilding and combat. Remember, you've only got 15 minutes to complete your objectives. Now build a ship, explore the map, and neutralize all hostiles before they find our HQ.
I think it's playing like a double music thing. Oh, I think I ran 2 instances of the game. Okay, let me, alright folks. Just give me 1 second here. Yep, I ran 2 instances of the game, okay? My apologies. Alright, so the combat demo, again.
Listen up,
I'll skip this
Remember, now build...
Okay, so in this case what we've done is we've started the player much further along in the cycle. And so this is an example of what a city might look like after many hours of gameplay. The demo that I had showcased earlier, I played for maybe 30 to 45 minutes, and I had nowhere close to this size of a city. This is the city that Anton had constructed for the demo. So there's, pollution and smokestacks over here with the mining resources, different offices and jobs. We got residential buildings, that council hall. And a lot of the UI here is different from what you saw in the last demo, because the last demo is only a month old, whereas this one is 8 months old, so much older. And the purpose of this demo is to actually showcase how combat works. So in the last demo I had showed off, one of the buildings that was locked off was the shipyard. And what this demo does is it shows you what happens when you build the shipyard. So in this case, we're building the shipyard, and we're kind of just speeding this up here, automating the construction process.
Welcome to the shipyard, Commander. I need you to design a ship so we can best defeat the enemy. To start, choose a hull. Then install all necessary devices required for takeoff. Remember that your crew must have access to all devices in order to launch. When you're finished, press launch.
Okay. So once you enter the the shipyard, the first task is to choose the hull that you want. And each of the hulls have different kind of costs and benefits. I like choosing a level 2 hull or higher because I like to build a lot of floor space. So, and each one has a different sort of weapon capacity. So this ship here is a little bit more expensive, but it has 4 weapons. But I don't think I need 4, so I'm going to go with 3. Okay. So now we have to sort of fulfill these requirements in order to get the systems of the ship capable of launching. So let's start from the top of the list. We need to build a generator. So in this case, placing down a generator. And you'll notice in this demo, we've sort of sped up the concept of building. So I'm just like placing down the device and it appears. In the actual simulation, when your workers enter your shipyard, just like how they enter the factory buildings, and then they construct the devices by hand, like you saw them constructing the devices within inside of the HQ in the factory. But this is just kind of sped up so we can get players into combat. Batteries are a device that stores excess energy, and it's there so that if your generator goes down, your ship can still operate. The cockpit allows you to pilot your ship, so you need at least one of these in order for your ship to move. The engine is required to actually have your ship move, so I need one of these. But the engine requires fuel in order to operate. So we have small fuel tanks and large fuel tanks. So I can build a large fuel tank here. So that powered on the engine here, and it also powered on the generator. So both the engine and the generator use fuel. If I lose the fuel tank, then these will both shut down, and I'm not going to be able to do a lot. We need crew members to actually operate the devices within the ship. So like this generator here requires 1 crew member to actually power it, and then there needs to be a crew member piloting the ship in order to work. So I have these beds, which kind of are like the living spaces for them. And that those 3 beds allow for a single. These 3 beds allow for 3 workers to stay here. So 1 worker per bed. I like a lot of crew, so I'm gonna make that kind of large. A crew needs oxygen in order to actually operate, so I have to build life support to sustain them, and each life support can feed oxygen to up to 3 crew. So I have 2 life support here, and they're both going to require energy to use. So here's my excess energy based off of my 1 generator. I'm at plus 15 energy, which means that like as I build devices, I need to be very conscious about how much energy I'm using. So now I'm only at plus 12. And the items that are going to take the most energy are these weapons. So the V4 cannon is 6 power, so I can build 2 of these and I'm basically capped. Or I can build 3 of these. I think I might do that instead. So let's see. The other things I can build are like shields. So shields protect areas. So in this case, this shield has a area of effect that prevents damage to this section of the ship. But this shield is going to consume too much of my power, and I want to make an offensive type weapon, or offensive type ship, so I'm going to go with this instead. Something to also be considerate of is your pathfinding, because your workers need to be able to travel to different parts of the ship. So if they're injured, they need to be able to walk to the medical pod. If they need oxygen, they need to, not need oxygen. If they need to operate the weapon, they need to be able to path the weapon. So some people kind of like build their stuff in a cluster, and that prevents a problem.
And also they need to actually walk over there to start healing or get to a station if you change their position, so they can die on the way.
Right.
There are more considerations. Had a lot of fun with this demo. Nice.
Oh, awesome. So in this combat simulation, we've staged a combat encounter. So let's see what happens when a ship invades
your city. Looks like we got picked up on the enemy's radar.
Wake. Defensive posture judgment, 62%. Consensus.
I love that guy.
Engage 1.
Yeah, internally we call him the Super Nintendo guy. Because he
Prepare
has a
to
Super
engage.
Nintendo on his head.
Ready all systems and destroy that enemy bird.
Okay. So a
combat threshold 80%. Currently 78%, 79%, 80%. Consensus. Engage 1.
Don't panic, Commander. You can press spacebar to pause at any time during the simulation. For starters, target the enemy's devices. You can even attack their crew.
Okay, so I'm going to pause real quick so I can explain what's going on here. The common theme in the game is you can go inside of stuff. So just like how in the last demo, you go inside of one of your buildings to see the inside. In this one, you go inside your ship. And once you're inside your ship, you can see the inside of the enemy ship. And so when in combat, when 2 ships are locked in combat, you're attacking the internals of their ship. And in the last demo, we showed off that the military buildings have are equipped with a combat floor. The combat floor operates exactly how the internals of these ships work. So you have people manning weapons on your combat floor with different types of systems and subsystems to allow them to operate it. And so when you engage in combat with a building, on one side is your ship and on the other side is the building, or vice versa. And this case, this is ship-to-ship combat. So I already have my crew operating the weapons here. All systems are operational, and they're currently like issuing fire orders here on the left side. So what I can do is I can aim my weapons, and for example, if I wanted to shoot this crew member, he would be unable to operate this weapon, which is kind of ideal. Or I can attack this crew member, and then they can't operate this power generator. But they're just going to go and heal and then go back to it. So if I want to do some like long-term damage, I can do something crazy like attack their oxygen supply. If I attack their oxygen supply, let's try that. If I attack their oxygen supply, none of them are going to be able to breathe, and so one of them is going to be sent down to actually repair the device, which takes them off of one of these weapons. So that's pretty good too. Or I could say, I have only 2 fuel. They only have 2 fuel tanks left. So if I blow that out, then their power generator won't be able to operate anymore, and so they'll be running off this battery power. So I could blow up their fuel tanks and then blow up their battery power, and then none of their devices will work. So
Nice.
I'm gonna go for the life support now. see how that plays out. So the game is very simulation based, and so you're never going to be in a situation where we're not going to allow you to micromanage your crew like a real-time strategy game. So you can't click on someone and say do this, etc. The reason for this is because unlike a game that or this combat is often compared to FTL, you have a shipyard, so you can produce multiple ships. And so in theory, you can be, one of your buildings can be under attack, and then your ship could be attacking another ship, and et cetera, on multiple fronts. And so rather than requiring the player to sort of micromanage each of the players, you're building systems so that they're optimized to sort of run autonomously. And then when you do have combat, you're kind of dependent on your decisions that you made when you set the system to take care of it. So it's things like, oh, if I lost combat because my fuel got shot out, maybe I didn't build enough fuel, or I didn't put enough shield around that, or et cetera.
Boom.
Yeah, and Chad actually contributed significantly to this demo too. So that explosion effect that he did, that
but the
was from
battle
Chad.
is not over yet. Explore Titan and find the remaining enemy ships.
Yep. I want to show that off too because it's really cool. So if you go real close here, you'll notice that there's a traffic simulation and a pedestrian simulation, and Chad programmed that. I think they like walk in clusters, so it's like more. Looks more normal.
It's more like people walk around. It's not 100% polished because it was in short order, but yeah. And they actually stop at stoplights and turn.
Yeah,
and drive.
the people wait to cross the street.
Yeah, maintain distance, all that stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so you can take out the crew on the enemy ship and then it becomes disabled, right?
Yeah, if you kill all the people on the ship, then the ship just floats there. And I was thinking about allowing for a way to, like, if the ship is basically derelict because there's like nobody on it, a way to like acquire it. And then also talking about a question that was that arose earlier is what happens when a ship blows up? So that's something that we still have to kind of play test and get a feel for. But it would be nice to see if there was some sort of like collateral damage to engaging in combat. Oh, okay. So this is actually a rebel outpost. So rebels form when.
Leave now. There will be no patience for servants of the council.
Rebels are a faction that is independent of corporations. They're not corporations at all. They're founded from people who are unsatisfied with their lifestyle in a corporation, and they quit to join the rebel faction. And they hate the council. And they don't operate within the bounds of the council. So, like, in theory, one of the things that we were hoping to get to, although we haven't implemented it yet, is your ability to sort of disobey the actions of the council. And then you can effectively become a rebel and play sort of like as a rebel
Please
player.
do the council a service and dispatch
Are we the
these
baddies?
rebels. You're free
Kinda.
to engage without a war bond.
Depends on how you run your company.
Yeah, it does. It does depend on how you run your company. Okay, so I'm gonna try to take out this rebel.
This mistake is on your hands. The council won't remember you after we're through.
Okay.
Oh, he's got a shield.
Yeah, he has a shield, so it takes too many shots to go penetrate these shields, so I won't be able to actually attack through there. But his actual operators are exposed. The other thing that you can do is you can shoot the tile. Oh, dang it. I can't hit that guy. Well, if you can shoot the tile and it actually becomes unpathable until they repair it. So if I shoot here with 3, nobody who has come down to repair this battery is actually going to be able to come up and path in here, and they're going to be blocked. So this weapon actually is pretty well defended, and I should probably maintain combat pressure on this tile here. Or while he's repairing it, I could just shoot him, and then he'll have to heal.
Oh, he got it out of the way. No.
Yeah, I messed up. Where is he now? Oh, he's back on the power generator.
Your operators are showing. Nice.
Anti-gov, anti-cap, anarchist, etc. Yeah, these guys are toast. Yeah, so what can happen let's say you're starting a corporation and your
The
population is
Council
unhappy.
will not tolerate rebels or anyone who thinks they're above the law.
Let's say the population in your city are unhappy with the rent you've set, or like the lack of housing, or they're just not happy with sort of the pollution levels that you have in your corporation because you're just exploiting them for income all the time. Then they at some point will leave your corporation and start generating slums, and then the slums are kind of like built within the proximity of your city, and then like if they're continuing to be unhappy, then they'll go and become rebels, and you kind of have to take care of them.
I've wired some credits to your corporation in gratitude.
Sort of like the barbarians, aren't they?
Yeah,
Interesting.
but you know, they did that because you did. Yeah, that's too. I can't handle all these Fortnite ads. Yeah, so many Fortnite ads. All right, so this is a level 2 ship. So
Diplomacy judgment, 38%. Combat judgment, 46%. Consensus, sleep 1.
So in this combat simulation, we've kind of set up all these combat encounters for you to do, and we did it that way to kind of make the focus of the experience about combat. But you have to keep in mind that in the grand scheme of things, you're also balancing your city development and all that. So in the actual game, you're not going to be doing combat as often as this. So there was some concern.
Diplomacy judgment minus 18%. Status, compromised. Consensus, engage 1.
He has too many oxygen.
Take out his fuel.
There's a shield on his fuel.
Is there?
So,
Or is it one time?
oh, it's one.
Take out his batteries.
Yeah, or I can just set one of them. Oh, well, this is down because he's repairing the fuel. There's no fuel for you.
Oh, yeah, his generator's down.
Yep, because they had to. Okay, so that was good. So there was one exposed fuel out of the 4, and when I shot it, the guy operating the shield that was protecting the remaining 3 fuel left to go repair that. So then I shot the other 3 fuel, and then he now has no fuel, and then his power generator went down. As long as I can maintain this pattern.
Shoot the battery.
Battery. Oh yeah, it's the last battery.
Well, he's got some more batteries, but he's not gonna be able to use them.
I can also speed up the
Boom.
time too.
Alright, he's gonna be out of power any second now. Oh, I think you got him though.
Nice.
That makes just one enemy bird left. Find them and take them out.
Boom.
All right, let's try to finish this demo.
I don't know. Your ship's kind of beat up, buddy.
I know. And you'll notice I'm using like the 2x, 3x speed up, which is pretty standard in these games.
88%. Consensus, regress 1.
Oh, I have to explain this mechanic. So, I was mentioning earlier in the first demo, the Council is this organization that oversees all activities on Titan, including the corporation-to-corporation interactivities. And they say that they don't want corporations to fight with each other, but they can overlook that rule if you pay them a war bond. So every time I'm fighting or engaging in combat with the enemy, I have to actually pay credits towards the Council, and they're fine with that. I guess it's called a bribe. But if a enemy corporation attacks me, that enemy corporation pays their war bond, and I don't have to pay anything to defend myself.
You just gotta pay for your letter of marque. There's no historical credits. It's not piracy if you're a privateer.
100%.
That's private
Defensive
enterprise.
array.
That's what that is.
100%. Combat initialized. Consensus. Optimum engage.
Okay, so this is the level 3 mothership, which I'm kind of beat up, but actually, let me just think about this. Okay. What would you do, Chad?
Oh, me? I like absolutely knocking out their power system. So I'd put one of my lasers on each one of those fuels, and then they have to walk around into that hole. And then when they come to walk into the hole to repair everything, then light them up. So hit that, and then the next volley, hit the energy generation, the 2 batteries in there.
Okay.
And then when they come to repair it, just start shooting the people.
Okay, so kill the fuel, which then knocks out the
because
power.
they'll come in, and then you can block the way in.
Oh, so if I even shoot this tile, then they're stuck.
Yeah, you're setting little traps.
Okay, so
All right.
that happened.
Yeah, they have a
All right.
design flaw in this ship.
Now, I remember you saying something like go for the batteries.
Yeah, hit the batteries next.
Okay.
And then
I have to wait for this one.
Then hit the tiles, as the third one.
Oh, okay. And that blocks them out of it.
Well, they won't be able to get in, but if they do get in, then you just seal them in.
Okay. Oh, and it's such a long travel path, too.
Yeah, exactly. So they're going to get in, and then... Now those guys are trapped. Okay, now hit their other batteries.
Oh, there's more.
Yeah. Hit the other batteries, and then use your other gun to hit the guys that are trying to repair the floor so they can get in there.
These guys? Or...
No, hit these guys that are
Okay.
trying to come in, because they're going to try to come in and repair.
Okay.
And then you can start nailing those guys in your little kill zone when the power goes out. Because everybody's going to start to come here, because it's like, oh gosh, everything's in trouble. Whoever designed this ship. Nice.
Okay.
All right. Now keep the fuel tank suppressed and start shooting the people. We got this.
You figured this out.
Yeah, I'm a little bit dastardly when it comes to this game because I played this and I soloed it with one ship.
Wow.
And beat the entire demo. So now you gotta
make this one like
get him
right here.
Get him, Andy. They're like fish in a barrel now. One of them's outside, so you gotta keep an eye on him. But you're getting there. Boom, boom. All right. Now retarget.
Oh,
Get him.
jeez. So they have a fuel bag. Okay, so I gotta take out this guy.
Yep. Keep the fuel suppressed.
Okay. And then the battery?
Yeah, keep the fuel and the battery suppressed. Then you can start shooting the people so they can't escape. Oh no, you let them out, Andy.
It was harder than it looked. I think I did some timings wrong.
Oh, that's fine. All right, now hit those other batteries before they get them.
These ones. Oh wait.
Yeah, and what you can do is you can aim one tile onto him, so the tile he's repairing, and then him, and you'll hit both him and anything he repaired.
That. And then I need to get better at blocking people.
Yeah, exactly. It's a trap. I call this the maneuver the Akbar.
Come on, fire.
Boom, there you go. So now they're going to be hurt, but now their med center's down.
Oh.
And they can't get out because they don't have any power. Just start shooting. You can even hit their generators too if you do Titans right. Keep the generators damaged. So even if they do get their power back up temporarily, they're kind of in trouble. So now everybody's kind of trapped in there. The life support's going to start running out. You monster!
Trap them in. Oh my god.
Yeah, trap them in a hole. Take out their oxygen. I mean, you know,
Oh my god.
it's pretty effective. In case you weren't clear, this is totally not a cutthroat game at all, and everybody's happy in the world of Titan.
Yeah.
It's a capitalist utopia.
Capitalist utopia.
It totally is. Free market, man.
Oh wow! I cannot believe. I don't even think I took the damage.
Well, you're not. Yeah, exactly. You paid your war bond. What's the problem?
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. I'm really good at this.
Yeah, you are really good at this game. Awesome. Okay.
Successfully protected our HQ.
Yeah, I was not expecting winning that, so that was really cool. Thanks,
Now,
Chad.
Yeah,
the
no
real
problem.
Titan awaits. Congratulations.
And that's the end of the combat demo.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, everybody. It was a lot of fun.
Cool. So that's all we have to show you for now.
Mhm.
And it was a lot of fun. So
Yeah.
I hope that as time passes and we have more to show, that we'll have an opportunity to do this again. If you have any questions, I guess let us know now, and we'll do a little bit more Q&A, and then until we wrap up in a few minutes.
Yeah. We call it a corporate bonding experience.
Yes. Yeah. That's a good way to put it.
Mm-hmm. Peace through power. Yep, yeah. Nothing wrong with that. Who
So-
was it that said that?
So one thing that the chat asked me, but they didn't ask you, is like how big your team is. You haven't really talked about the members of your team.
Gosh, so how many are we up to? It's been changing a lot recently. So we recently brought in Pete. We've had our team, Pablo, myself. So that's like 4 full-time. We're coming up to 5 full-time. And Marlon, who's one of the people who sort of floats between all of our teams, has been doing our cinematics direction, doing a phenomenal job with that. Yeah, so I think we're going to be up to about 5 full-time soon. And Phantom Brigade was originally just the earlier prototypes was just 2 and then 3 people full-time. We have Power Up Audio doing all of our sound and music. Of course, Riley's doing the composing on that. Yeah.
Cool. And we had mentioned that Titan's in Unreal, but Phantom Brigade is in Unity.
Yeah, it's a pretty highly customized version of Unity with our own rendering tech. And yeah, like I said, the trailer was all done in Engine as well.
That's awesome.
So yeah, we're really wanting to make it look as beautiful as possible.
Yeah, I mean, it looks amazing.
Thank you.
It's cool.
Yeah, Titan looks great. Good art direction.
Yeah, Anton even made this title screen here.
Yeah, that's good.